Hello friends, today we will learn about wastewater treatment or sewage water treatment. The water pollutants composting of sewage or wastewater and the measurement of pollution in sewage. Discharge of sewage or wastewater to the environment is a matter of concern as it poses serious threat to public health. In the rural communities, recycling of waste has been practiced for centuries. Such recycling process provide fertilizers and fuel. However, these waste and crude recycling process are very dangerous as they are major sources of disease causing pathogens. And in many developing countries, crude and unscientific recycling of waste is still in use, exposing the people to health hazards. In some countries, the waste are carefully treated and disposed of. Wastewater or sewage treatment was started in 19th century. Uh, that means 150 years ago. And certainly it is the most important fact or for the well-being of present day man besides increasing the life expectancy. The process designed for the treatment of sewage should have some objectives. Let's know about these objectives. First is removal of floatable and suspended particles. The second is treatment of biodegradable organic materials. Third is elimination of disease causing organisms. That means pathogenic organisms. Let's know about the classification of treatment processes. The sewage treatment methods may be classified in two different ways based on the principle of operation or the stages of treatment process. Based on the principle of operation, physical unit operations and chemical unit operations. Let's know about physical unit operations. This method involved the applications of the physical forces for sewage treatment. The physical processes involved include screening, mixing, sedimentation, flocculation, and filtration. Now come to chemical unit operation. These methods involve the applications of physical process involved include screening. This process operates the principles of chemical reactions that may involve precipitation, disinfection, adsorption, etc. Now come to biological unit operations. The removal of pollutants, particularly the biodegradable organic materials, can be carried out in through biological processes. Let's know about based on the treatment process. The sewage treatment processes are more convenient classified based on the stages of treatment as preliminary, primary, secondary and tertiary treatments. Preliminary treatments. Let's know about preliminary treatment. This process basically involves the removal of floating materials, settleable inorganic solids and grease, fats and oils. Let's know about primary treatment. This process, usually carried out by sedimentation, involves the removal of suspended organic solids from the sewage. Now come to secondary or biological treatment. The removal of fine suspended and dissolved organic material present in the sewage constitutes secondary treatment. This process can be carried out by aerobic and anaerobic biological units. Tertiary and advanced treatment. This is the final treatment process of sewage that is carried out mostly in the developed countries. In general, sewage is disposed of after the secondary treatment. When needed, the tertiary treatment is carried out by disinfection or that is chlorination. Now come to preliminary treatment. Preliminary treatment involves the removal of floating material and settleable inorganic solids besides oily substances like fats, oils, grease like this. The three major types of equipment screeners, grit chambers and skimming tanks employed in preliminary screening. Now come to screeners. A screener is a device with opening to remove the floating materials and suspended particles. The process of screening can be carried out by passing sewage through different types of screeners with different pore sizes. The screeners are classified as coarse, medium, or fine depending on the size of the opening. The openings for medium and fine screening respectively are 20 to 50 mm and less than 20 Different types of screening fixed bar screen, that is coarse or medium, disc type fine screen, drum type fine screen are in use. The shredder or commutator is a special screen that can cut and retain the floating and suspended materials. Now come to grit chambers. The heavy or inorganic materials like sand, ash and other can be removed by using grit chambers. This technique is based on the process of sedimentation due to gravitational forces. Grit chambers may be kept either before or after the screens. Screaming tanks. Let's know about screaming tanks. Several greasy and oily materials from the domestic or industrial outlets fit their entry into the sewage. They can be removed by using a skimming tank which is fitted with baffle walls that divide the tank. The screaming tank is divided into three compartments that are interconnected. As the compressed air is pushed from the floor of the tank, the rising air bubbles coagulate and solidify the oily and greasy materials present in the sewage. This material is pushed to the side compartment referred to as stilling compartment, from where it can be removed manually or mechanically. Now, let's know about primary treatment. Primary treatment is aimed at the removal of fine suspended organic solids that cannot be removed in the preliminary treatment. Primary treatment basically involves the process of sedimentation or settling. In the normal process of sewage treatment, sedimentation is usually carried out once before the secondary treatment, referred to as primary sedimentation, and then after the secondary treatment is completed. A process known as secondary sedimentation, it is sometimes necessary to use chemical coagulants to facilitate or aid sedimentations, and this process is referred to as chemical precipitations or coagulation aided sedimentation. Now let's know about principle of sedimentation. The solid particle of sewage tend to settle down due to gravity. However, most of the solid particles of organic compounds remain in a suspended state in a flowing sewage. If the flow of sewage is stopped and if it is stored in a tank referred to as sedimentation tank, the solid particles can settle down at the bottom. The process of sedimentation is influenced by several factors. These include the size, shape and specific gravity of particles, besides viscosity and flow velocity of sewage. Let's know about types of settling. There are four major types of settling: discrete settling, flocculent settling, hindered or zone settling, and compression. This categorization is mainly based on the tendency of the particle to interact and form solids. Let's know about discrete settling. The particles which do not change their size, shape, and weight are referred to as discrete particles or granular particles. The use of grit in sewage may be considered as an example of discrete settling. Flocculent settling. The flocculent particles can change their size, shape, and weight and thus lose their identity. These particles actually coalesce during settling. Settling of biofuels and chemical flux in secondary sedimentation tanks are good examples of flocculent settling. Now come to hindered or zone settling. The particles as such tend to remain in a fixed position with respect to each other with flocculated and the whole mass of particles settle as a unit or a zone. In the hindered settling, the concentration of particles increases from top to the bottom and this results in the thickening of sludge. Zone settling is employed in conjugation with biological treatment facilities. Compression. Settlement of particles in the lower layers can occur by compression of the weight of the particles in the upper layers. This process facilitates sludge thickening at the bottom. Type of sedimentation tanks. There are different ways of classifying sedimentation tanks based on the shape, that is rectangular, circular and square. Based on flow of sewage, that is longitudinal and vertical, radial and spiral. Based on the purpose and position, it is primary, secondary and secondary coagulation cum sedimentation tanks, grit chambers, septic and IMHOP tanks based on operation, that is batch type and continuous flow type. Let's know about chemical aided sedimentation. It is not always possible to remove the colloidal waste in sewage by plain sedimentation. However, addition of certain chemicals aid sedimentation, a process referred as a chemical participation, or 60 to 80% of the suspended particles can be removed. Chemical precipitation involves three stages: coagulation, flocculation and sedimentation. Coagulation is mainly a chemical process wherein the charged particles are destabilized by the addition of chemical agents. On the other hand, flocculation involves the physical phenomena of aggregating the destabilized particles to finally form settleable solid, that is sedimentation. The chemicals used in chemical aided sedimentation are of two types: coagulants and coagulant aids. Let's know about coagulants. These are the chemicals normally positively charged which form insoluble and gelatinous precipitates with colloidal particles, negatively charged one present in sewage. The most commonly used coagulants in sewage treatment are alum, iron salt, that is ferric sulfate, ferrous sulfate, ferric chloride, like this, lime and soda ash, that is sodium carbonate, sodium silicate and sodium aluminate. Let's know about coagulant aids. These chemicals aid or facilitate the process of coagulation. This is brought out by enhancing the action of coagulants and reducing the amount of sludge found. The common coagulants aids are activated silica, weighted agents and polyelectrolytes. Secondary or biological treatment. Biological treatment of sewage is required for the removal of dissolved and fine colloidal organic matter. This process involves the use of microorganisms that decompose the unstable organic matter to stable inorganic forms. A list of major biological secondary treatment process used for sewage treatment. Let's know about aerobic processes. First is aerobic processes. Category, I'll tell first category, then common processes. Suspended growth system. First is in aerobic process, suspended growth system is one. First point is suspended growth system. Activated sludge process, plug flow process, sequencing batch reactor contact, stabilization, oxidation, deep shaped, suspended growth nitrification, aerobic lagoons. Second is attached growth system. Its common process is trickling filters, roughing filters, rotating biological contractors, that is RBCs, packed bed reactors like this. Third point is, third aerobic process is suspended attached growth combined system, that is activated biofilters, example trickling filter solids contact process. Now next process is anaerobic process. Anaerobic process, first point is suspended growth system. In this, anaerobic digestion occurs. Anaerobic digestion, single stage or two stage aerobic anaerobic contact processes. Now come to second point, attached growth system. Here anaerobic filter process, expanded bed process is there, and third is pond process. In pond process, aerobic ponds, anaerobic ponds, facultative ponds are present. Okay. Now the biological treatment process of sewage and are broadly classified as aerobic and anaerobic and pond processes depending on the nature of the use of the microorganisms. The biological processes depending on the nature of the use of microorganisms, the biological processes are categorized as suspended growth systems and attached growth systems. Let's know about aerobic suspended growth treatment process in brief. The most important suspended growth biological treatment systems used for the removal of organic matter are: first is activated sludge process, second is aerated lagoons, third is sequencing batch reactor, fourth is aerobic digestion. Among these, activated sludge process is most widely used for the secondary treatment. Activated sludge process. Let's know about activated sludge process. The activated sludge process, first developed in England in 1914, continue to be the most commonly used modern process for the biological treatment of sewage. In this method, the sewage containing organic matter with the microorganisms is aerated by a mechanical aerator in an aeration tank. The reactor contents are referred to as mixed liquor. Under aerobic conditions, the microorganisms metabolize the soluble and suspended organic matter. The generalized metabolic reaction is COHNS plus COHNS is organic matter plus water plus nutrients in presence of bacteria gives rise to carbon dioxide NH3 plus H2O, new cells plus other products. A part of the organic matter is utilized for the synthesis of new bacterial cells while the remaining gets oxidized to carbon dioxide and water. The newly formed microorganisms are agglomerated to form flokes, technically referred to as sludge. The separated sludge, which is not in contact with organic matter, becomes activated. It is separated from the settling tank and returned to the aeration tank and recycled. The activated sludge recycled in aeration tank serves as a seed or inoculum. The excess and waste sludge can be removed. For efficient operation of activated sludge process, it is necessary to maintain a constant supply of oxygen, which can be done by mechanical aeration or through the use of rotating paddles. Growth of protozoa in a sludge is an indication of its healthy condition. The disposal of a waste sludge is a problem. It may be used as a fertilizer in croplands or as landfills after drying. Now, let's know about the factors affecting performance. These are several factors that influence the efficiency of activated sludge process, the most important being the type of reactor, aeration food microorganism, that is FM ratio, nutrients, sludge recirculation rate, besides pH and temperature. Let's know about the advantages. The activated sludge process is a very compact, low-cost sewage treatment. It is worked out that under ideal conditions up to 95% of biological oxygen demand 5 BOD 5 98% of bacteria, particularly coliform, and 95% of suspended solids can be removed by activated sludge process. The excess and waste sludge has a higher fertilizer value compared to other treatment processes. Disadvantages. Let's know about disadvantages. There is production of large volumes of sludge which sometimes becomes difficult to handle. Power consumption is relatively high for operation supervision. Power consumption is relatively high for operation. Supervision by skilled personnel is necessary. Let's know about conventional activated sludge process. In the normal treatment of sewage, the activated sludge is proceeded by primary sedimentation tank. The conventional activated sludge system consists of a separation tank, settling or sedimentation tank, and sludge removal line. The sewage after the primary treatment is introduced at the head of the tank. It is desirable to supply oxygen uniformly throughout the tank. Let's know about modified activated sludge process. For increasing the performance of the activated sludge system, several modifications have been done in the recent years. Most of them are directed to bring out efficient aeration. Aeration can be done by step aeration, tapped aeration, high rate aeration, by complete mixing, and extended aeration. Let's know aerated lagoons. Aerated lagoons, also called aerated ponds, are the facultative stabilization ponds wherein surface aerators are installed to overcome the bad odors. The major difference is the large surface area in aerated ponds, and this is more susceptible for temperature effects. It is possible to carry out continuous nitrification in aerated lagoons. This, however, depends on the design and operating conditions of the pond. Let's know about sequencing batch reactor. Sequencing batch reactor is a modification of activated sludge treatment system. The processes, namely aeration and sedimentation, are carried out in the both broth system. Both the system. The major difference is that while in the conventional activated sludge system, aeration and sedimentation occur simultaneously in the separate tanks, these two processes are carried out sequentially in the same tank in SBR. Thus, the sequencing batch reactor may be regarded as fill and draw activated sludge process. The process is carried out in a sequence of 5 steps: filling, aeration, that is reacting, and third is sedimentation, for sedimentation or settling, fourth is decanting, and fifth is idle. Several modifications and improvements have been made in the SBR for more efficient operation. Let's know about aerobic digestion. The organic sludge produced from various treatment processes, that is activated sludge treatment and trickling filter sludge, are subjected to aerobic digestion in specific reactors referred to as aerobic digesters. Now come to aerobic attached growth treatment processes. Aerobic attached growth treatment processes are commonly used to remove the organic matter found in the sludge. These processes are also useful for the nitrification, conversion of ammonia and nitrate. The common used attached growth process are: first is trickling filters, second is roughing filters, third is rotating biological contractors, fourth is packed bed reactors. Among these, trickling filter is most widely used. Let's know in brief about trickling filters. Trickling filters, also known as percolating or sprinkling filters, are commonly used for the biological treatment of domestic sewage and industrial wastewater. In a strict sense, trickling filters are not filters but they are oxidation units. It has a bed of coarse, hard and porous material over which sewage is scraped. In about 2 weeks' time, the biomass attached to the media surface grows and forms a layer referred to as biological film or microbial slime. This film has a thickness of 0.1 to 2.0 mm and is rich in microorganisms. As the liquid trickles through the biofilm, the organic matter gets oxidized to carbon dioxide and NO2 by the microbial organisms. The oxidation is carried out by the aerobic organism, particularly bacteria that are present on the upper portion of the biological film. The biological film is rich in the bacteria Pseudomonas, Flavobacterium, alkaligens, and algae, cholera, Eutothrix, and Stragioclonium, besides some fungi and yeast. Biofilms with a thickness in the range of 70 to 100 micrometer are efficient for the treatment process. The biological film is rich in the bacteria Pseudomonas, Flavobacterium, alkaligens, and algae, cholera, Eutothrix, and Stragioclonium, besides besides some fungi and yeast. Biofilms with a thickness in the range of 70 to 100 micrometer are efficient for the treatment process. As the biofilm film ages, its thickness increases and it automatically settles to the bottom of the tank. The waste waters obtained in milk processing, paper mills, and pharmaceutical industries are treated by trickling filters. Types of trickling filters. The trickling filters are classified as low rate, that is the conventional one, high rate, and super rate. This categorization is mainly based on the hydraulic and organic loading rates of the sewage. The low rate filters are suitable for the treatment of domestic sewage, while high rate filters and super rate filters are useful for industrial sewage. Let's know about factors affecting performance of trickling filters. The type of media and depth, organic and hydraulic loading, filter staging, recirculation rate, and flow distribution are the important factors that influence the performance of the trickling filters. Let's know about the advantages. Trickling filters are simple, occupy less space, and operating costs are low. They operate efficiently in hot climate and thus are suitable for more developing countries like India. Let's know about the disadvantages. Removal of BOD is moderate, around 70%, and disposal of excess loss is necessary. Primary sedimentation is required since trickling filters cannot handle raw sewage. Thank you. The rest I will explain in next video. Thank you.